Channel 4 News boss says media have right to call politicians liars.
Here's a summary of the article.
Channel 4's head of news has defended the right of journalists to call out politicians for telling lies. Dorothy Byrne delivered a keynote speech at the Edinburgh TV Festival on Wednesday, calling Prime Minister Boris Johnson a coward for not granting news interviews. It was strange, but it was also untrue, a lie. Is it time for us to start using the L word? I believe that we need to start calling politicians out as liars when they lie. If we continue to be so polite, how will our viewers know that politicians are lying? She added that it isn't necessarily obvious to the audience when politicians are untruthful in interviews. Journalists have a purpose. We go away and study and research whether what politicians say is true, and then we ask them informed questions and make them accountable. Byrne lamented the time given over to journalistic scrutiny by the present Prime Minister, former PM Theresa May, and leader of the opposition Jeremy Corbyn. Her views were well received by others in the media industry.
This post received a score of 45,853, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
The media have that right and an obligation to do so when they have the proof.
With great power comes great responsibility, or the ability to default of that responsibility for money.
With great power comes great responsibility. Unless you have truly great power, then you can kinda just do whatever you want, lol.
History is being written by whomever has the most expensive pen.
I bought a $10 pen because I always lose pens and I got sick of not caring. Mitch Hedberg.
I used to love that guy. I still do, but I used to, too.
Great reference. Take this upvote.
Have a right? You mean an obligation.
Well, both really.
Yes, but having the right to do so seems absurdly obvious. Imagine someone saying the alternative: media outlets do not have the right to call people liars.
Well, as part of being granted the exclusive right to broadcast on a certain frequency, TV channels have a legal requirement to uphold political impartiality. Channel 4 is just asserting that you can be unbiased and still call a politician a liar, which is a bit more complex.
I mean, exclusive right to broadcast on a certain frequency doesn't really mean that they have a legal requirement to uphold political impartiality. Unless this is the way the UK does things, in which case I withdraw my statement.
In the UK, that's a legal requirement for television news. Not 100% sure about radio, but I think the same applies. Our partisan bullshit is mostly confined to newspapers, which are absolute fucking garbage over here.
Well, damn. That's kind of wild to think about. I'm used to news stations taking sides and being able to spot differences in perspectives taken between stations.
Low-key, they do. But it manifests in interesting ways. The BBC, for example, has acted in ways that benefit both the right and the left, to the point that many left-wingers will say it's right-wing biased and right-wingers will say the opposite. I would say the biases are there, but manifesting in different ways. There seems to be a left-wing bias in some of the ways the BBC operates, who chooses guests, treatment of political figures by interviewers, etc., but there are simultaneously apparent biases from the higher-ups who tend to be personally conservative.
Greater than low-key, they do. Yeah, but not like US media.
It's critical to their jobs. We'd be pretty fucked if the press couldn't contradict the politicians with evidence when they lie.
They aren't lies, they are factual inexactitudes.
I thought it was terminological inexactitudes.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.